I was able to balance that and how you guys can balance Norwex in what you're already doing. So I am such a like simple, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's what I've done today. You guys can screenshot this and save it. But the first thing that I recommend is always kicking off the month with goal setting. And what I recommend is calling people on your team at the very beginning of the month, and you ask them 3 things. One is, what is your goal for this month? Well, actually, one is, how are you doing? What's going on in your life? How was last month for you? How's the family? And then the number 1 is, what are your goals for this month? And I love asking that because, Ashley, oh, here we go. Oh, you can't hear Brittany. Oh, sorry to hear that. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. You ask, what are your goals for this month? So let's say they say, you know what, Brittany, this is a crazy month for me. I'm not doing anything this month. Then I write in my notebook that Ashley, you know, she's not working Norwex this month, but I tell her, you know, totally fine. Yes, sounds great. Hope everything goes well for you. Listen, if someone decides they want to do a party or anything at all, just know I'm here for you. But I'll check in with you next month. So then I write down my notes for Ashley. Then I call Haley, and Haley says, I'm going for TC this month. And so then I say, okay, that is awesome. Then that's when you ask question 2, who are you working with? And then she says, you know, I don't really have anyone to work with. So I know for Haley, her goal is TC. Her goal is she needs to find 3 people, and she doesn't have anyone, so she needs to recruit 3 people. So it just helps you keep track of what your team is doing, if they're planning on working or not. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I'm like, am I reaching out too much? Am I not reaching out enough? You feel like you're pushing and pulling, and doing this at the beginning of the month, you have a clear plan of what your team is doing, what your goals are, who they're working with. The third question is, how can I help you? So I get out my calendar, I'm like, all right, Jason, like, how can I help you? Do you want to do a team call? Do you want to do a conference call with someone? How can I help you? And you get out your calendars and you schedule that. So in like a 15, 30-minute meeting, you ask the 3 questions: what is your goal? Who are you working with? And how can I help you? To every single person on your team. And I promise it really helps you balance your month better. If you're hearing the same like struggle from all of them, you know what to focus on coaching that month. It just really helps you know, these people are working, these people are not, here's what their goals are, and it just helps you figure out what your plan is too. Second thing is always put your family time first. I actually like to plan out a few months ahead. I look at any school things going on, holidays, if I want to go on a trip, anything, I put family first. So when I'm working with team members or new team members, I can make sure I'm not doing any conflicts, because that can be the hardest thing, is when you have something like today, for instance, and let's say you didn't calendar out something else, then you start getting that pull from family and hobby and Norwex. So do yourself a favor by always putting family stuff first, so that way when you schedule in Norwex, it's not conflicting. I always like to think, you know, if I'm with my kids, I got to focus on my kids. And when I'm with, you know, at a community event, doing something for the community, I'm focusing on that. When I'm at work, I'm giving my job all I've got. And so in the minutes that you have, just give it your all. Whether you're with your family, put your phone down. If you're on Norwex, focus on Norwex. Just make sure that we try and calendar that first. 3 is, I love the app Calendly. If you have scheduled a call with me, you know that I love this. So it's calendly.com. You can use a free version. And as you start growing your team, this is a great way for people to connect with you. You can put it on the bottom of your email. You can text it out and just say, hey, pick the time and date that works best for you. What Calendly does is it syncs with your phone calendar. So if you put in the dates and most important things on your phone calendar, and then people use Calendly, it just blocks off the time that you've already blocked off. So that way, if a team, you know, if someone wants you to run through their numbers with them or brainstorm with them or show them how to do the back office, it's a time that works for you too. 4 is always making sure we're doing income producing activities. I like to think of the good, better, and best with this, because I don't know about you guys, but when I was building a business, I felt like I was always doing the business or doing the, you know, selling or parties. But if I was honest with myself, I was doing a lot of thinking about it, or training or podcasts. I wasn't really always focusing on the things that actually move my business forward. So income producing activities would be approaching someone to host a party, hosting parties, talking to someone about the business. So it's kind of like the good, better, and best. It is really good to listen to the trainings, come to events like we're doing today. It's better if you think about, how am I going to implement what I learned into my business? But the best thing is to just do it. And I think if we hold ourselves accountable, or get a friend to hold us accountable, it helps us a lot. What I decided to do is, before I went to bed each day, I made sure I approached at least one new person. Approached them about a party, approached them if they were already a host, asked them about if they were interested in building a business or creating side income. Just one thing, because I found that by the end of the week, I wouldn't have done anything, but I was thinking a lot about it. 5 is focus on what you love. When I was a coach for direct sales business, I never actually had one myself until after. And when I actually did it, I thought, oh my gosh, I didn't realize what you guys go through every day. It's such a mental roller coaster sometimes. You know, you have a really big high. You just got a really great party. It was awesome. And then the next week, it was a horrible party. And then the next week, you know, great again. And then the next day, your mom says no. And it's just this roller coaster. And I learned I really had to focus on what I loved about it. You know what I love about Norwex is you're spreading a good mission that really makes an impact on people. You're able to have a community of people. They're products that sell themselves. It's extra income that can help pay off debt or bring in money for the holidays coming up. You can help people. I just had to focus on what I love. I actually wrote it down on a piece of paper, and I had it by my computer. So every day when I was working on things, I could focus on that. 6 is choose your hard. This one's important because everything is hard, right? It is really hard to sacrifice some time to do an extra business. You know, Norwex can be really hard when you get told no, or you had a host that maybe said not kind things to you, or if you didn't reach a goal you had set. It can be really hard working with different personalities, the out of stock items, all these things can be hard. But it's also hard to not have the income you need to pay off your bills, or to have the extra income to be able to do your hobbies or to pay off debt. Like for me, I decided I've got to choose my hard. And I grew up as a farmer's daughter who worked really, really hard his whole life. And I guess I saw that in him. You know, it was really hard to do farm work, and his hands would be so calloused over, and he'd be tired. He'd work early in the morning, late at night, sometimes not making very much money. But it was hard not to work and to not feel like you were doing your best for your family. And so I think that mentality is really important for us to just grasp that either way might be hard, just choose your hard. 7 is using social media to connect further. I love social media in the fact that you can connect with people all over the world. In-home parties, we just could only connect with those that we could travel to. I like to train people on how to connect like you can as if they're in your couch, like in your living room, right there with you. So here are just a few tips on how to do that with social media. 1 is creating a template practice group. You guys have probably heard me share this. When I was doing the direct sales business, I realized how much I hated being on camera. I would look at myself. I just didn't like it. So then I decided on Facebook to create a group that only I was in it. And I would just practice going live in there, practice doing different videos, demos. So that way I could get out my jitters. I could check the lighting was good, check I didn't have food in my teeth. And then I would do it in the party, or then I would do it in my team page. I still use it today. I turned it on right before I came on, making sure my background looked okay and everything was, the lighting was okay. So create one for yourself. You can invite your upline in it to help you with it. But I have found that was such a good recruiting tool for me, because I recruited a lot of people who weren't very comfortable with social media. So I would say, oh, I totally get it. I was the same way. I'm going to help you create a group that only you are in, and it's your practice group. You can go live in there. You can practice your demo first. And if you ever find a good post or before and after picture that you just love, copy it into this group, because it's just for you. So you can have it handy and paste it into a team party or paste it out there at another time. So this is kind of your safe spot. 2 is look at the camera. So if I was talking to you guys and looking at myself, my picture, I would be looking right here. And let's see, so right around here, somewhere down here is where my picture is. a lot of times we have habits of doing that. We look at ourselves, we're fixing our hair, we're talking. What you have to do is find out where your camera is. So my camera is right here. If I thought where I think my camera is right here. But if you see where I'm pointing, it's not. It's actually up. So what you want to do is get your computer or your phone, whatever you're doing, and actually find where your actual camera is. And then look at that. Look at the difference of when I'm looking down at myself to when I'm looking there. I feel like, okay, I'm looking at Ashley right now, and I'm about to do a demo, and I'm thinking about Ashley, her family, her kids at home, how these harmful chemicals getting out of her home can really bless them. And I'm thinking of her, which is 3, or C, pretend she's on my couch with me right now. And I'm just looking at her, I'm thinking about her. It kind of just naturally makes you smile. It makes you just kind of calm down a little bit. It makes you feel like you're not being so perfect of, hi, Ashley, the demo today is this. It's just more like, hey, Ashley, how are you doing? Hey, so today we're going to share with you about this. If my kid comes in, it's fine, because it's just like if she was in my living room, I'd be like, hey, go back out and play, you know. Before, when I was doing it on my own, I was like, if you kids come in, you know, I was threatening them, I was locking the door, I was like dressing super professional. But once I actually realized people just want to feel like they're in my living room and talking with me, they're not going to remember everything I said. They're going to remember how I made them feel. And the main point of it is, I care about you. And I really believe I have a product that can help you. I don't have to be perfect in what I say. My camera doesn't have to be perfect. My background doesn't have to be perfect. I just want to care about you. So I hope you guys keep that in mind, especially if you're just jumping into this digital world and you don't feel super comfortable. Just create a group that you can practice in and just try and pretend that they're on the couch in your living room with you. And you're just sharing your heart. You're just talking to them. People will feel way more comfortable if you're less formal than if you're just trying to be so perfect and everything's perfect, because they won't relate to you either. They like that real life, something they can just kind of relate to. And then D is making meaningful connections daily. And I'm actually going to share my screen for this one, see if I can actually show it to you. Yeah, I can share these with Ashley, and she can share it with any of you, all these images here. So on social media, there's a really cool way that you can actually connect with your already friends on Facebook. And I don't know if you guys know about algorithms. The algorithms decide what you see every single day. So you have access to about 2,000 posts per day based on all the advertisements, your friends, suggested friends. You could potentially see about 2,000 posts per day. But Facebook will only allow you to see about 250. And they decide what you see based on your habits. So if you're scrolling through Facebook and you don't stop and like and comment on Ashley's post, it's going to think, oh, she must not like these posts from Ashley. We'll show less of Ashley. But then let's say the next day you're scrolling and Ashley shares a picture of her family and you're like, oh my gosh, I love that. You stop and you like and comment. Then Facebook says, oh, they like seeing family pictures of Ashley. They just don't like when she posts something political or something. I haven't looked at Ashley's Facebook in a while, so I'm just throwing that out there. The algorithms actually track your habits. And so then they start figuring you out and they decide what you see. So that being said, you're probably missing a lot of your friends and family's posts, and you're probably not connecting with them like you could be. So this is what I recommend to do every single day, is do daily connections. So what you do, oh, someone's trying to call me on Facebook. So click on your friends list here. And then when you go on your friends list, you want to start from the top. So I recommend starting at all friends and just every day taking maybe 3 to 5 friends and connect with them. I'm not saying to talk to them about Norwex. I mean like connect with them. So what you do is you hover over the name and then you right click and you say open a new tab. Then you go to the next one. How funny is it that it's Ashley? And I actually have been talking a lot with Ashley. Facebook is a little creepy in that way. And then Rose Cruz, okay? So open a new tab. So what you do is by the end of the day, I'm gonna make sure I connect with those 3 people and I leave up their tab until I've connected with them. So what you do is you click on the tab and you just see what they're up to. I see, you know, I always like to see, are they working at the same place? Are they living in the same place? It's crazy. You'll see so many people that you're like, wow, how have I not seen their posts? It's because of the algorithms. So then I scroll through and, you know, I think you should be very genuine. If you don't really like or connect with something, you don't have to like or comment on it. But if it's something that you connect with, like it, comment, scroll down through a couple things. And then once you've done that and you feel like you've connected, you look at, you know, is there anything you want to talk to her about, anything more? You just X out. And then let's say you get distracted, you've got to go. Leave this up so you know that when you come back, oh yeah, I haven't connected with my last two today yet. So Ashley, you know, Ashley, let's say she just posted something about her husband losing his job or something. Then I can say, oh, this is something I could connect with her on. I could private message her, hey, I'm so sorry to hear what's going on. How are you guys doing? And if it feels right, I could say, hey, I would love to show you a way that I've been able to bring in extra income for our family and see if it's a fit for you. And if not, no worries. But, you know, I would love to see if this could help you out in your situation. Or if someone comments, my daughter has eczema, what's worked for you guys? You can invite them to have a party with you. So it really is pretty eye-opening when you spend just a few minutes every day, you know, daughters, oh, your kids are so cute. You know, there's so much that you can do. Anyway, you want to spend time about 3 to 5 times a day, just really focusing on sharing some love with people and making them feel special and letting them know that you care. What happens when you do that? They actually are notified more of your posts. So I bet you, Ashley, if I would have done, I try and do like 3 or 4 connections with them, like likes or comments or something. I bet you, Ashley, will see some of my posts today or tomorrow because I did that on her page. You can also wish people happy birthday. When there's birthdays, every day, you just wish everybody a happy birthday. Same thing, when you comment happy birthday on their page, they'll see some more of you. I found that doing this actually helped me balance my time too, because I think sometimes we could spend hours on Facebook searching through things, looking at it. But if sometimes I'd set a timer. I have 15 minutes to connect with 5 people today. And then that was it, you know? So something to think about as just a way to develop relationships deeper, because people want to work with those who they know, like, and trust. And that's a really great way to make sure when I'm spending my time on social media, it's not to compare myself with others. It's not to get lost. It's for a purpose. And my purpose is to build relationships and connect with people. That's actually why social media was initially created, was to build these relationships. So don't think about who can I get today. Think about who can I help? Who can I connect with? Who can I build a stronger relationship with? And I feel like that's why I had success in a direct sales business, was because these relationships I built. And I actually still do this today, even though I'm not building a business. I still connect with people every day because it was so rewarding to me. I have so many strong relationships from people from high school and college and past jobs because of this practice. So when you finish the end of your list, you just start from the top again and you just keep doing that. It's kind of your way of beating the algorithms. Like, no, I'm not letting you censor my friends and family. I'm going to go through and I'm going to connect with them. So you may come across people you kind of forgot about, but I promise you, you'll see more engagement on your post from doing that as well. I'm going to share my screen again here. Okay, so the next thing I just want to share about is recruiting online. Same thing, like I said, it's those daily connections, because social media just loves you connecting with people. When you do a post, like comment on someone's post, it's actually more powerful if you use 5 words or more. So don't just do a heart emoji or say cool, say, wow, your kids look so grown up. Like, it needs to be 5 words or more to really be powerful enough for them to start seeing your post. This might be like information overload, so I'm sorry if it is. I'm more than happy to do a one-on-one call with you too, if ever you'd like to learn more about this. But show love, be positive in what you post. You want to do your family, your life. You don't want to be saturating it with all Norwex stuff. Otherwise, people will start ignoring your posts, I promise you. 2 is wishing your friends happy birthday, like I mentioned. 3, following up with your hosts, and not just about Norwex. But when you have hosts, make sure you're connecting with them. Be intentional about connecting with them so that they remember you. They see how, you know, what's going on in your life. They feel like this relationship is getting stronger and stronger because, again, they're going to want to work with you if they trust you and if they feel like this could be a positive relationship between you two. So a lot of times people don't come on board with us because they're not sure if you'll take care of them when they do. So this is a great way by following up with your host. 4, This is a tip that I've heard from leaders that they highly recommend doing that's worked for them. When you do a party, you can private message everyone at the party saying, at the beginning, saying, hi, my name is Brittany. I'm hosting, or I'm helping Ashley with her party. Thanks so much for joining. If you have any questions at all, I would love to help answer them. Here's the shopping link when you're ready. Can't wait to have you at our party. That's kind of your first introduction to them. Then at the end of the party, you can message them, hi, Haley, how was the party for you? Do you have any questions for me on products? Are there any cleaning problems you're having? Wondering what, product could help with it? I'm here to help. By the way, I've had a lot of Haley's friends ask if they can host a party. Yes, I am looking still for 3 to 5 more hosts. I would love to help you get free product or some of those products on your wish list. And you could even private message them, by the way, if you're looking to bring in some extra income around the holidays, I can also share with you how Norwex has helped my family bring in extra income too. So by messaging every single person, you can find people who maybe would have never had the courage to say something to you, or maybe they didn't shop that week because they didn't get paid, or maybe they had something crazy going on in their family. But you private messaging them builds that connection. I would definitely tell your host, hey, I'll be sure to message everybody so they have my contact info and I can help answer questions, just in case they say, don't message that person. But I have been asking people who have started with Norwex saying, what brought you to Norwex? And a lot of them this last 6 months have come from that. They said, oh yeah, I was at a party for my friend and the consultant messaged me just saying, hey, if you have questions, let me know. And then at the end of the party, they did a follow-up saying, by the way, if you're interested in the extra income or hosting, I'm here to help. And I thought, yeah, actually, I'm curious, like, tell me more about it. So don't be afraid to do that. Don't just do it with those who actually ordered, do it with everyone. And I think you'll see a huge increase in your hosts, booked parties, and even those interested in building. If you're nervous to do this, just start by doing it to a few people at once, or just move the needle a little bit. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. 5 is sprinkling the opportunity on social media. Sometimes people get super excited about Norwex, so it's like 90% Norwex, 10% about their family. You want to shift your mindset and your thinking to, on social media, do 90% about your life, 10% Norwex. Sprinkle it in, because like the algorithms, they don't really love business posts. They want to know about your family. So if you are posting about Norwex, put it in your lifestyle. Have your grandkid cleaning with the EnviroCloth, or show you using the window cloth on your car. Like, have it be part of your lifestyle. That will get you a lot further with engagement too. And then 6, be warm, be inspiring on social media, be motivating, be entertaining, be someone that people actually want to connect with. I like to tell people it's like going to a networking event. If you came into the room and you burst open the door saying, hello everyone, well, my name is Brittany, I'm with Norwex, and you're loud and trying to just, plow people over with your thoughts and your opinions, people might just kind of go in their own corner, keep away from you. But if you go into a networking event and you just smile at everyone, you go and you shake their hands and you ask them questions about them and you get to know everybody that you can, and you're kind of funny, but you're also humble and you're warm and you're inviting, people want to connect with you. Well, you can do that on social media. You can go in, and the idea of handshaking and asking them questions is you going to their page, liking and commenting on their posts, asking them questions. If they ask an opinion like, hey, what's your favorite, lawnmower, you give it advice and you answer questions. And that's what you can do on social media. Don't just be silent on there and go in, do your parties and get out. Give some positive information, education, comment on people's stuff. Be friendly, and I promise that will come back to you too. And then 7, be authentic. Over all the things I'm saying, if something doesn't speak to you, or if it just feels way out of your comfort zone, just move the needle a little bit, but be you, be genuine. People will feel that and people will see that. And, I think the most important thing to know is that you're going to be helping them every step of the way. If you guys ever would like to schedule a call where I can go one-on-one with you, or help you with social media, or help you with overcoming objections, or anything at all, my link is www.calendly.com/bmunk. I would love to help you. It really is such a cool thing to be able to connect with you and help you. On social media, I like to think about Disney's best practices. So an employee at Disney told me this years ago, that they have 7 guest service guidelines. I love it so much that I have this in my office and I think about it all the time. So one is be happy. Make eye contact and smile. So you can do this on social media by looking at the camera, like I mentioned, by doing it on your groups or your videos or your demos. 2 is be like Sneezy. Greet and welcome each and every guest. Spread the spirit of hospitality. It's contagious. This one, we got to be a little careful with coronavirus right now, but the idea is it is contagious. When you are warm and inviting on social media, you do a nice post or you give someone a positive shout out or celebration, it makes people feel good and they want to do that too. 3, don't be bashful. Seek out guest contact. This is what I'm talking about of private messaging people. I think sometimes when people are building a business like this, they think if I do a post, everyone's going to come to me. And if they don't come to me, it must mean that I don't know what I'm doing. That's not true. You have to reach out to people. You have to private message them and text them and call them, because 1, the algorithms might not be showing your post, but 2, people are a little nervous to say, I don't know if I should reach out to Sean. What if she's pushy, or what if it's not something I want? But if you reach out, then you feel a little bit more comfortable asking the question. So don't be bashful. 4 is be like Doc and provide immediate service recovery. I think something your team does so well is you guys are excellent at customer service. And I've been blown away with that. When someone has a problem with a product or someone has a problem with something and you can't find an answer, reach out to your RSM, reach out to me, reach out to your upline, reach out to customer service for them. Don't always just send them out on their own. I think there's a good balance. Show them that you really care about them. Teach them where to go, but show them you care. We want to really help them feel special and in good hands here. 5 is don't be grumpy. Always display appropriate body language at all times. This one, I would say with texting. When you're texting or messaging someone, it is so easy to get the wrong idea. If I've messaged you, you probably notice an annoying amount of smiles or hearts or exclamation points. It's because I really want to make sure you can tell that I am happy when I'm talking to you or replying to you, or I'm grateful. And sometimes our texts and our messages to our hosts or to our consultants can come across the wrong way. So be really mindful of that when you respond. I have a family member that no matter how warm and kind I am to a text, I'll be like, happy birthday, you're the best sister in the world. And I'll do this warm, flowery comment. She'll just reply, thanks. And to me, if someone sent that to me, I'd be like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. Heart, heart, heart. You're the best. Smiley face, smiley face. I think we just need to be aware that people can read things wrong. So when you're doing a party, smile at the camera, look at them, show them your warmth. But also in our messages, our emails, we got to be careful of that too. 6 is be like Sleepy. Create dreams and preserve the magical guest experience. So what I think about this one is, how can I bring magic into this moment? Someone might be asking me a simple question, but how can I go above and beyond to really answer it? I'm definitely not perfect at this. We all get asked a million questions a day, so we can't always do it. But if we have a little extra time, how can we make it a little bit more special? Is our team member going for a promotion, and can we do something to make them feel a little bit more special? Is there someone who had, maybe their product came broken, and instead of just taking care of it, is there something more I can do? People want to shop from you and keep shopping from you if they feel special. And people want to build with you if you make them feel special. It could be a handwritten card. I remember one of the best things I did for retention to get people to shop more than once and to stay with me. I did a handwritten card about a year of them being with me that said, thanks for your, here's a few of my favorite things. And I sent them with some samples. But I had my kids write pictures. And then my daughter said, thanks for supporting my mom, in her cute little kid handwriting. It cost me about $5 to send these out. Oh my goodness, you guys, I had people who, even to this day, actually about 3 months ago, this guy called me, he's about 60, and he said, I have this card on my wall. I thought it was the sweetest thing to remind me that I'm not just shopping from a big store, I'm shopping from a young mom with her kids, and I'm supporting her. People really love that kind of stuff. So how can you bring magic into it? And then 7, don't be dopey and thank each guest. We are so grateful for all of you. And I love how Debbie and Judy always say that. They always say, thank you for you. We need to remember that too. Thank our hosts. Thanks our team to choose to keep working with us. Thank anyone and everyone. And I think having a thankful heart is contagious too. And our team members will pick that up. Like, Brittany, she's not complaining about out of stock. She's just grateful. And that really spreads. So think about this. It's helped me in my career. It helps me to be more of a people person. Like I said, I have this in my office at all times. One thing that I think over everything helps us in all of these crazy moments and the changes and all the stuff that just, I don't know, it's just a crazy world right now. But what can help keep us focused, not just with Norwex, but with our life and our relationships and just where we're going, is our why. You know, our why drives us so much more than maybe we even realize. So this is something I recommend you to do, is if you have a piece of paper, I want you to, at the very top, write your why statement. So your why statement looks something like this. Let's say my why at the time when I was building my business was to get out of debt. We really, really, really wanted to be debt free. So my why statement would be to get out of debt. But then I want you guys to write the so that. This was interesting to me. I went to a retreat and they had us do this. I thought I had my why down pat. You know, my why is to get out of debt. But then he said, okay, so that what? And I thought, so that, you know, it took me a little bit, so I'm not in debt. But for me, to get out of debt so that I didn't have to worry about extra bills, or so that my kids wouldn't have to worry about, you know, us losing our house, or so that we would be more frugal, or so that we could go on more trips. So what I want you to do is write your two, and then write one so that. And then when you've done your one so that, I want you to go one more time. So to get out of debt so that we wouldn't have as many bills each month. But then one more so that would be so that I wouldn't have to worry about losing our home, or so that I'd have more money for a trip. If you really want to get down to what your real strong why is, something that really moves you, you'll do the so that a couple of times. But sometimes that's hard right here on the spot, but be thinking about that. Then below, I want you to write a couple hows. So to get out of debt, my first how was work really hard in my full-time job. My second how was to spend less money. Dang it, I like shopping, but that was another how. The third how was I needed extra income. I didn't want to get another job because I just don't have enough time in my day for a whole different job. So my other how was side income with direct sales. My other how was going to be build a team, because yes, with Norwex, you can bring in money by sales, by selling and parties. But if you really want to increase your check and really make a difference for other people, you'll do team building. You'll help others. So that would be my number 4, would be, and help others too. So this is a good practice to have, not just with you, but your team members. It's something to do with if you have a spouse or a significant other, to see, you know, what is their why and how can we help that? Having an extra income for our family was something that honestly changed just so much for our family. For one, it helped me learn how to balance things and how to put priorities. It helped me get more organized. It built my confidence, where I felt like, you know, I could speak in front of people and I can do a business and I can help my family. I can bring in extra income to make a huge difference. My kids were proud of me. I would actually have a picture of like a tree or something where my kids could color it in as I reached certain milestones. And anytime we filled that up, we'd go somewhere. We'd do something together as a family. And they were proud of what I did. And that felt good, to feel like people were proud of me. I had people who had issues with their skin that it was a blessing to them that we approached them. So think about how your hows and your why is really making an impact on others. This is something that you should do often, to think about it, because your why changes too. The last thing I want you to think about your why is I want you to think about your envisioned future. So my goal was to get out of debt, but an envisioned future is actually envisioning yourself in that moment of reaching that goal. I did this practice with a single mom one time in my career, and it was so powerful. So what we did is we said, envision yourself when you reach this goal. She wanted to advance to a certain level that would give her enough money each month to help pay for bills, where she could quit her 3rd job. She worked a full-time job, an evening job, and then a job in the wee hours of the morning doing janitorial work. and she had 3 kids. And she said, my goal is to quit my 3rd job, make enough money to quit my 3rd job. And I said, so that what? And she said, so that I had enough money to not feel stressed. And then I said, okay, so that what? And she said, well, we got down to it, and it was so that I can come home with my kids, that I can be there with them when they're doing their homework at night, I can put them to bed, and I can be the one who gets up with them in the morning. And that's when it hit her. She got emotional, I got emotional, and we talked about that. So when we talked about her goal, we didn't talk about her goal hitting the promotion. We talked about that envisioned future. And I said, what would that look like to you? And she said, oh my gosh, I would bring my purse home, I'd come into the door, put my purse down, I'd hug my kids, and I would say, Mom is staying home tonight. I'm not going back to work. Let's turn on the music. Let's make dinner together. Let's get your homework done. And then she said, I'm putting them to bed, and then I'm there in the morning, getting them off to school. That's what it looks like. So when she was having hard obstacles to overcome, or when things didn't go perfectly, I would bring that up to her because it was painted in my mind. She talked about it so much, I could see her envisioned future. And I'm telling you, the best call I've ever received in my career was when she called me in tears saying, it was exactly as I pictured it. I came home, I told them I was coming home, we cranked up the music, we made pizza, I put them to bed, and because she thought of it so much, her why helped her overcome every no, every obstacle, every flat spot. And we have to get ourselves to that moment where we envision what it looks like, what it feels like, what it's going to sound like. And that's how you can really reach your goals. That's how you can truly understand your why, is envisioning yourself when you reach that. It makes me emotional still to this day, and that was probably 3 years ago, but it made an impact on me and how important it is. So I hope that that's something you guys will take the time to look at, is what is my why, and what does that look like? What are my hows, and what is it going to feel like? And think about it, dream about it, daydream about it. That's when you know you've hit the spot on what your why is. A quote that I like to remind you guys when I'm working with you is this one. What you get by achieving your goals is not as important as what you become by achieving your goals. You have a real opportunity here to learn a lot of great skills that actually a lot of people that I work with work at Norwex as an employee because they built a direct sales business. These opportunities start opening up to you. You meet people, you connect with people, you learn how to be humble sometimes, you learn how to be coachable, you learn how to work with different personalities, and you really do become an incredible person when you go for things like this and when you try and spread a mission. And I think it's amazing the growth that I see in people, whether they reach their goals or not. Just the idea of going for the goals can change you. And then this quote. This is a quote I'll end with, but I've heard a quote going around, if not now, then when? But then this quote really, really hit me. It says, if not, let me move my face. If not now, then when? If not here, then where? If not this, then what? And if not you, then who? So Norwex right now is more relevant than ever. People are ready for Norwex. I am telling you, I talk to so many people who come here who they were like, oh my gosh, I told my person no for 6 years, but now I need it. Or I never thought I'd build a business, but then how can I not? Now I need extra income for my family. I have nothing else, So if not now, then when? If not here at Norwex, then where? Norwex has such a lucrative compensation plan, a product that sells itself, it's timely. We've been eco-friendly, green before that was popular. So if not here, then where? If not this, then what? And if it's not you who brings it up to them, then who will? Maybe your friend down the street and you're going to kick yourself that you didn't approach them first. Or there's people who are seriously searching for something like this, and you have this gem, something that you can really bless them with. And if you're too nervous to share it with them or whatever it might be, then what if they don't get it when they need it? I think something that I want to just leave you with is I have a young daughter who has a skin condition where she can't be around certain chemicals. And it took us years to figure this out. We thought she had eczema. We thought she had dry skin. We changed her diet. We worked with doctors. We worked with specialists. And actually what it ended up being is she is really highly sensitive to things in cleaning supplies and fragrances, body lotions, skincare, anything that I basically used, she was sensitive to. So we've worked for the last 4 years to create a safe haven in our home. We actually called it a safe haven because in our minds, we can't control what's happening in her school. We can't control what's happening out there, but I can control what happens in my home. And we created this safe haven for her. My kids were on board with it. My husband's on board with it. I'm on board with it. I had to say goodbye to my yummy, good smelling stuff, but it was for her. So you can imagine when I heard about Norwex and their mission statement, I felt like it was guiding me to this job. It just falls so in line with what our personal family mission statement was. My little boy, who's 3, is so blessed because he's never lived in a home with chemicals, ever, because of my daughter. And I just think, what are we doing? We're really making an impact on these generations to come who will have a better life because of the decisions we make. But what I want you to think about is how many people are out there like me who's searching for answers. I was trying to find safer products, but the stuff on the market, it's not honest. I would buy products that said safe and they still had the ingredients that impacted her. And so it was hard for me. I was asking on social media. I was asking friends and family. There are people out there who are searching for ways to have safer products in their home. There are people who are looking for ways to bring in extra income. It's been a hard, heavy year this year. So you just have such a gem. I hope that you feel confident and looking for people to help. I hope that you will keep spreading the mission and looking for families that can really be blessed by what you have. So I am just so, so grateful to be here with you guys. I just love this team so much. I love what you're going for. I love your goals. I love how you help each other. I love how you push, boundaries on things and just go for it. You're just an incredible group of people. And I really, truly mean that. I mean, I really do tell Ashley all the time. I'll talk to one of you and I'm like, of course you're on Ashley's team. It's just what you've created here is incredible. I'm proud of all of you. Thank you so much for choosing the hard thing to approach people about this.